Today we're going to show you a unique axle back option for your 2015 through 2017 Mustang GT. This is the Flowtech axle back fitting your 2015 through 2017 Mustang GT. Now Flowtech's a little bit new to the S550 market. They've been making exhaust systems for a long time. The unique thing about this system is it actually cuts further up, which gives you a nice straight path into the muffler. It's made of 3-inch 409 stainless steel with a stainless steel dual chamber muffler ending in a 4-inch chrome tip. For this installation, with a lift or a jack and jack stands, 3/8 ratchet, 13mm socket, 16mm socket, tape measure, marker, sawzall, and safety glasses. During the introduction, I mentioned the one thing unique about the Flowtech is where it cuts. Now, because of the design of it, normally with the axle back, you're cutting behind the axle. What Flowtech does is actually move it up so you get a straighter shot at the muffler. So what we're gonna actually do here, instead of cutting behind the axle, you're cutting right here in front of the pumpkin area here. What you're gonna do is go to the tangent here. Basically what the tangent is the edge of the curve where it gets straight. So go underneath it, follow the curve, and the first straight section, make a mark. And what we're gonna do is measure 2.5 inches further back on the exhaust towards the bumper, and that's where you're gonna cut. And you'll do the same thing on the other pipe. Now in our case, we already had an aftermarket axle back that we removed, but to get your factory axle back, it'll be hanging at this point. You can remove this bolt, so you can remove this bracket, and then remove it from the rear hanger by sliding it forward. Now grab a file and just make sure this edge here is free of any burrs so the pipe can slide over. Now grab the original hanger, put that on there along with a new clamp, and we can put it up into place. I'm going to start in the back by sliding into the rear hanger. You want to slide it all the way back and line it up with the front pipe. Let it slide over and then push it forward. I'm going to put the hanger back up in here and then reinstall the bolt we removed. So we're going to line up the muffler back here and then tighten it down. Then repeat the process on the other side and your installation's finished. Our Flowtech system was pretty easy to install. It looks great on the car. Let's hear how it sounds. At idle, it definitely is one of the deeper sounding systems I've heard, especially for an axle back. It sounds good when you rev it too. It's not overly raspy, it's not real crackly, has a nice tone and carries it throughout the band. Hey, if you're a subscriber to our channel, you know that we've had a lot of 2015 through 2017 exhaust videos. I've heard pretty much everything out there. You get a pretty good idea what to expect after a while from an axle back. The Flowtech is different. I mean, it really is. It's really a unique sound for this car. It is a lot deeper than any other axle back that I've heard yet. And we know in the past that deep can sometimes translate to drones. We're going up to the highway speeds here and get around 2,000 RPM and see where it is. We're cruising right at 2,000 RPM right now. You hear it, but it doesn't have that like droning kind of sound. Like you can still hear the exhaust. It doesn't sound stock, but you don't get that like pulsating sound that some of them do on the drone. Really is, like I said, it isn't bad at all. but even idle, it has a deep sound to it. And as you go through the RPMs and the sound gets louder, it doesn't change much. Like a lot of them might be a little deeper down low, but then you kind of hit that 3,000-4,000 and it turns into like a louder, raspier kind of tone. You don't get that with the Flowtech. It kind of carries that same tone throughout the RPM band. Here are we again at highway speeds, and like I said, you can hear it. You get a little bit, I'm not going to call it drone, but you do get a little bit of that deep sound that's, you know, the consistent RPM, but it's not annoying. Now, if you've been around a while and had ever had a Fox body Mustang, there's another company that makes a 2-chamber muffler that you're probably familiar with, and this reminds me of that a lot. Like, it very much has like that. I mean, it has a vintage kind of chambered muffler tone about it.